Welcome to Nestology. We are your hosts. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Shelley.
And today we're going to have a little lighthearted because, well, we've had a couple heavy episodes. They're good, but heavy.
Heavy to think about death and estate planning. It's great stuff to know, but...
It is. But we're going to...
Little deep.
We need a little break. So
lighthearted. Let's talk about some fun stuff.
Yeah. Well, first, we both just got done on vacations. So how was your trip?
So,
where'd you go?
Went on a cruise. Went to the Bahamas, went to Grand Turks. Yeah.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah, it was fabulous. It was a very inexpensive cruise, and I probably should not mention the cruise line, but it was a party cruise, and I didn't realize that. But we had a great time. Just, I came home with COVID.
That sucks.
Yeah, I'm all good now.
I felt so bad when you texted me that. I went down to our condo for a couple weeks. We always have to do some work after, all the summer guests come through. So we had some repairs to do and projects, and then we had some friends all done. But yeah, so we did some work on the condo, and then we had some friends come down and join us for the holiday weekend. And the kids we had 4 kids around my boys' ages, and they did a fishing charter. And that was a lot of fun. They caught sharks.
Ooh, scary. They were very brave.
I was so surprised at how well they did because I thought, especially my oldest, I thought he would freak out. But he did really well. We've got some cute pictures of them holding the sharks.
How big were these sharks?
They were fifi. Not big sharks. They were ones that they were able to reel in on their own.
That is unbelievable.
So,
well, I'm terrified of sharks.
Yeah, we have a cruise coming up with our coaching group.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do that snorkeling.
I know. And you said,
there's a cool shipwreck.
Yeah, but you were like, yeah, this island, it's known for its sharks. I'm like, I'm out. I'm totally out. Like, no. I'm sorry. My parents ruined me. They took me to go see Jaws when I don't even know how old I was. When did Jaws come out? Like 1975 or something? You probably weren't born yet. So you probably don't remember that. But it was terrifying in the drive-in theater.
Yes.
Huge screen. And I was like, I have been like just paralyzed fear of sharks ever since then. So, yeah, more power to you.
We're not going to snorkel now.
I'm not. You can.
Well, hey, I found some cool stuff for us to do.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Fun. But it's also like, it's a retreat.
It is.
It's like vacation / work retreat.
Yes. But if anyone's been to Bimini in the Bahamas and has suggestions on where to go or what to do, it's a small island. Yeah. But it looks like there's some good food. And
I want good food. That's what I'm there for.
We'll rent a golf cart and get some good food.
Drive around. So. Yeah, I'm staying far away from the sharks. But you feel free. If you want to do that, I'll drive around the island by myself.
I'm sure there's others in our group that don't want to go swim with sharks either. So today we're just going to share some fun stories. We thought we would kind of focus on one topic here. It's interesting. There's a question, I get it a lot. You probably get it a lot too. When we're under contract and our clients say, is it done? Is it 100%?
Yeah. Are we good? Are we good now?
It is not done until everyone has signed and money is in your account or transferred out of your account. It is not done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I've seen way too many things happen in between getting under contract and getting to the closing. So nothing is done until you sign at closing. So,
and even then, oh gosh. So I've had a couple people that I'm going to have to start making this like part of my like closing spiel, but don't cancel your insurance until after they say it's funded because your signing is not the same as it being official. And then there was a sleepless night I had recently where the insurance shut off at midnight, but we had a crazy storm. It was springtime.
So you're talking about a house that you were selling?
A house that my clients were selling.
And no insurance?
Yeah, the funding didn't happen because wire cutoffs are at 3:00. There was a late signing. So it wasn't official till the next day, but they had already scheduled to turn off their insurance at midnight. And the only way to extend it was to start a complete new policy. So at midnight until like 10 a.m. when it became official, there was no insurance on that house.
Oh my gosh.
And there was a storm. And I was up all night listening to the wind howling, the lightning, imagining the worst. I'm sure my clients were up all night too. But it's not done till it's done. So yeah, there's always things that can happen. So that's the stories we're going to share today.
Super fun. So we can talk about, all kinds of crazy stuff that can happen, in between.
Yep. All the things that people do to screw it up,
that could
or
totally
Mother
mess
Nature.
up, yeah, a transaction. Yeah, I've had some of the storm issues come up with transactions as well. Everything from, we have, hailstorms, or there's, hurricanes, because I do loans in all of Texas, right? So there's
Right.
certain areas, and then you have a natural disaster like that happen, and then you've got re-inspections, you got to send appraisers back out, so that can cause some delays and things like that. Or I even had one, pipes burst, because it was like, during ice storm days here in
Mm-hmm.
Texas, and they did a walkthrough the day before closing, and it was flooded.
Yeah.
So there's a delay right there.
There's a friend of mine, an agent that we worked in the same office, and when we were working together, she had one of those. That it was end of December. There was cold weather. They went to do the walkthrough. It was already vacant. The sellers had moved out. So the morning of closing, they went to walk through, and the house is filled with water. So,
Oh my goodness. I thought this was going to be a lighthearted conversation. I started diving into that stuff. No, so anyway, yeah. There's just some crazy things, you guys, that we see on our end. If I can just tell you, if you're buying a house, please don't run out and buy $100,000 tractor.
so that's
because the lender will find out.
Yeah. I mean, I have seen people, like I said, sometimes it's Mother Nature, but sometimes it's stupid decisions that.
Sometimes the people, yeah. I mean, one time talking about like ice storms and winter time, it's like at Christmas time, we have to be really vigilant, because people will spend their down payment money on Christmas gifts and then all of a sudden say, yeah, I spent that. I don't have that to close next week.
And I know you've had that one.
Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
Well, so I had one where I was working with the sellers. They put their house on the market. We got under contract. Everything's going well. And the wife apparently was going to leave her husband after closing. She was planning to take half of the proceeds from the sale and leave him. And he was mooching off her. He wasn't working. She was supporting him. She was done with it. So she was going to take her half and walk. But he found out before closing that was happening. So he refused to go to closing and sign.
Oh my goodness. Oh, well, you know what? I had something kind of similar to that. Had some clients, they get under contract to buy a house together, and the title company informed us that they found that a divorce was filed. And the wife had filed for divorce thinking nobody would know until after closing. So she planned on filing and then closing on the house and then kicking him out. And that can't happen.
That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's not how that works. So, yeah, don't file for divorce in the middle of buying a house.
Or selling a house. Unless everybody's on the same page.
Well, yes, of course. Let's not do a surprise.
No surprise divorces when buying or selling. That's a good way to word that.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, we've had some crazy things. We've worked together for how long now? Has it been?
10 years?
10 years. So, yeah, we've had some interesting situations that have come up. Now, we've always navigated through them, but I tell you what.
Well, I haven't been able to navigate through all of them, but yeah, it's when you have a good team, usually you can. So,
oh gosh,
well, there's some that if it had been a different, well, I've had different lenders on it. There was one, oh gosh, this sweet buyer, I felt so bad for her. She was with a bad agent because it was a relative and a bad lender, and neither of them were looking out for her or didn't understand what they were doing. So we go under contract, and halfway through, the lender's ghosting me. He's not answering anything. And
that's the worst.
Right. So we were getting nervous, but the agent kept saying, everything's fine. We're working on it. So we get all the way to the day of closing, and I knew we weren't closing because title didn't have documents or anything, but it's supposed to be the day of closing. And the lender finally responds and says, no, she's not qualified.
What?
There was nothing we could do up until that point because we were locked in contract with them. But the big thing, the agent, because he was new, he was a baby agent, which we've all been there, but he did not understand what he wrote in the contract. So there's the closing date, but there's a date that you have a deadline.
Financing date.
The financing date. So they had in there, which it's normally like 2 to 3 weeks is what we normally see. So they, I think, had 3 weeks in there, but we were well past that. We were at between 4 and 5 weeks. And, that's... The buyer at this point was losing her earnest money. She wasn't entitled to it. There was no protections left. If he had known this or done his job, he would have terminated it at that deadline so they could have protected her earnest money. He had no idea. He was like,
my
but
gosh.
he's like, but she's not approved. She's not approved. We get the money. No, she's not.
Oh,
You did
wow.
not look out for your family member here in doing this. So,
Yeah, so that financing date, I mean, that's the date you've got to get the loan approved by.
yep. And that's
And
the
so a
last date
good
of,
lender that, does what they're supposed to do is supposed to get the loan approved by that financing date. And that's before the
yeah.
closing date.
Well, and then as the agent too, knowing those deadlines, because not all lenders look out for that. So if you know that you have that deadline and that's your last chance to back out and still protect the earnest money, that's what you should be doing. So yeah, she was unfortunately failed. It was ironic because she did call me the next year to help her buy a house. So that was it. That was interesting.
Of course, she wants to work with a professional.
Yes, she was not happy. She had lost money because of her agent and lender the first time around.
Oh my goodness. Well, I know I remember being on a retreat with you and we were working on a deal that, she had stopped paying her bills.
It was trying to remember how that played out. So I think it's how long are the pre-approvals good for?
Well, I mean,
Is it 60? Because we had to it had just expired. So we needed a new pre-approval letter to get her under contract.
Okay. And I guess, I don't know why she stopped paying her bills, but that dropped her credit. So we had to repull credit because a credit report lasts for 120 days.
Yeah.
And I think that was expiring. And so we had to pull a new credit report and she had just stopped paying bills.
Normally, it's not that drastic over such a short period of time. But yeah,
if you stop paying them all, it will be.
Got a pre-approval and immediately stop paying all your bills, it's going to change pretty drastically.
Oh my goodness.
That one did not fall through because Shelly fixed that one.
I tell you what, this is why I have some gray hairs that you can't see.
Oh, yeah. Between this business and my kids, I've got plenty, but we cover them up.
I know. So there's just things, that we kind of think of that, could impact closings in the interim. And
so, yes, it's not done till it's done because things happen all the time. So I don't like to, bombard everybody with these stories when they're a week away from closing, but just make smart decisions. If you're closing on a house, nothing is ever done. So just be smart. If you're putting down deposits, if you're scheduling movers, just know that, yes, it's not as likely to fall through the closer you get to closing, but things still can happen.
Yeah, just be real careful. I mean, some of the little things that I've seen would be like, those Klarna Affirm accounts kind of thing where, you can buy something with 4 payments, 6 payments, whatever the case may be. Well, those don't show up on credit reports, you guys.
Yeah.
So we as a lender have to count them as debt. And so, if we do a full pre-approval bank statements, we've got all the documents, and then you provide us new bank statements, and all of a sudden we've got 30 to 40 new credit accounts that we have to account for. That could impact your ability to buy your house. So don't do that. Really be smart. I think that's what we're talking about. Pay your bills. If you're going to buy stuff, make sure that you're not increasing your debt ratio.
Be honest. Don't try to manipulate or trick someone,
Ooh.
the lender or your spouse. The lying is never good.
Oh my gosh, we're going to talk about that? Yeah, well, I do have, somebody that tried to commit fraud earlier this year with me, and it was unbelievable. It was a past client. So I believed...
Okay, but tell, the warning signs. Are you able to share the things
I don't know how much I can share, but yeah.
Fake.
There were fake pay stubs.
What are the warning signs that you see on these things?
Oh my gosh. You know what? I tell you, there was some crazy stuff there. So I guess I can mention a few things without mentioning names. But it was started a new job, okay? And then bank statements that had a payable on death with the employer listed on there. And I was told that he had never met her, didn't know her until he started the job, but the bank statements were prior to.
Right. I don't know. I don't put my employers. I've never put my employers on my bank statements or on my accounts.
And then when I asked, okay, that's really interesting. Why would you do that? Well, I got the sob story of, a family had recently passed away or something, and he didn't have anybody left. And so he decided to put her on. And I'm like, what? And this happened to be, the person we needed a verification of employment from, which we couldn't get.
Red flags.
Red flag. Yeah, there was multiple of those. And then,
Pay stubs that don't have the same font and matching.
oh, the font was all off. The dollar amounts didn't add up. It
Oh,
didn't
yeah, to
match
what's on the bank statement.
W-2. It didn't match the bank statement. There were so many things, you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I couldn't go through with it. And he kept
Yeah.
saying this property he was buying, he was going to move into. And yeah, come to find out when I called the listing agent, because there was no buyer's agent involved.
Lovely.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean it's a red flag, but
There's just less when there's an agent involved and they've done the consultation and pre-approval, and you have there's more people to catch red flags, and
yes,
we have conversations.
That he's going to move into this house.
Yes, so then we start to see those, and we communicate with each other with title or with lenders, and when there's warning signs or something's not going right. So yeah, it's just one less person looking out for those things.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So anyway, I called the listing agent to kind of let her know that things were not exactly lining up. And then she informed me that he had said it was going to be a rental property, which is indeed what we thought. He was buying a rental property with, less money down that was required. 20% is required down on an investment property, but he was buying it as a primary residence with 5% down, wanting a lower interest rate, which I understand, but I can't be involved in fraud.
Right.
So we ended up having to cut it loose.
Yeah,
so,
you're not going to risk your license and your business.
Absolutely will not. I'm just like, I was mortified.
Yeah.
That somebody would even try that. Because, for his side of it, like mortgage fraud, you can be in jail for 99 years.
Yeah.
That's the penalty.
Oh, I know. It does not make sense to me, the people that will do this. And I mean, you don't believe when you see that in all the closing documents about mortgage fraud, because there's the warnings when you're signing your closing paperwork about that. And people all the time are laughing and thinking it's like a joke, but there are really people out there that do it. Well, I have a few stories that they're not mine, but they're from agent friends or title rep friends of mine. So there's a couple that have actually fallen through at the closing table. So one, well, it's a sad story, but my title rep, she was telling me years ago she had sellers sit down, sign their papers, buyer no-showed. Agent had no idea where he was. They were calling him, and it wasn't like him. They didn't find out till the next day. He died in a car wreck on the way to closing.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
It's awful. And I mean, this is, like I said, you just never know what could happen. No one could have predicted or prevented something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That one's a sad one. There's a funny one, though.
Okay, yeah, let's switch gears.
We'll lighten it up. So this is another my title rep, one of her stories. So when you're closing, they give you a paper that has like your aliases, which you see it more often for women because of like a maiden name, but it's all the variations of your name. So like anytime you've had your credit pulled or something, so like maybe it's your middle initial, where another one is your full middle name, or maybe a misspelling of your name.
Right.
So there'll be a list. Well, there was a woman, when this was handed to her to sign, her husband saw it and saw that there was a bunch with a different last name. She had not told him she had previously been married.
Oh,
and
ouch.
He left closing and refused to sign.
And that was it?
That was it.
Oh my God.
So they were supposed to be buying a house, and so he left and didn't come back, and that deal did not close.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have heard some stories like that, kind of similar, that, somebody showed up with the mistress pretending to be the wife.
Oh, yes.
And that, yeah.
I've heard of that happening before. That's why they are so careful with driver's license and
photo ID at closing. Yeah. Yes. All the things. Oh my gosh.
I'm shocked what people do.
Well, I had somebody that laid off the morning of closing, and they didn't tell me until after we went to go celebrate, the client and the agent and myself afterwards, and she had a cocktail and told me she had been laid off, and I was like, oh, what? No. I'm like, you had better pay that mortgage, get another job ASAP. And she did, so it was all fine. It was all fine. But oh my gosh, that was terrifying.
Well, I didn't tell you this when it happened, but we had a buyer.
Oh no, what?
That the day before closing, she told me that she had decided to be a stay-at-home mom.
Oh no!
And
don't tell me who this is.
So they could afford it. Husband could afford it, but this would have messed up the loan. it could have messed up their debt to income ratios. They've been in the house for many years and paid their bills.
All these years and you didn't tell me.
I didn't. So I was like, wait, you're quitting it? You mean after closing, right? She goes, no, I emailed my boss today. And I said, you tell her that was a joke. Tell your boss it was a joke.
Oh, no.
So she continued working for the rest of that week so that we could close on the house. I was like, I don't care what you do after, but they're going to call your employer on the day of closing to verify. So she got her job back for the rest of that week.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, I'm going to be wondering who that is now. Not that it matters, but
they've paid their bills.
They paid their bills.
Yes,
I haven't
he's made enough
any
money.
Notifications of missed mortgage payments.
Yeah. Well, so there's one, I won't say who this, I mean, she shared it on social media, but an agent that I know through some of the networking groups that I'm in, she's in another state, but she shares a story sometimes about when she sold the wrong house.
What?
So years ago, she had a client that she showed a bunch of properties to, and he called her one day and said, write an offer on, Banana Street, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
And she got excited, wrote the offer, got it accepted. His plan had been that he was going to tear down the house that was there and build a new property on it. So there wasn't an inspection done. They make it all the way through. They close on the house. And after closing, he said that he went by the house and there were people there. And he asked why there were people there. And come to find out, she had showed 2 houses on this street. And
the same street.
On the same street. Sometimes that happens. We have 2 houses on the same street that we show the same person.
Oh my goodness.
And so she wrote it for the wrong one. She thought he wanted this one. He wanted that one. He thought the whole time he was buying one. And he was actually buying another property.
Oh, and he closed on it?
He closed on it. It was his.
Oh my gosh.
So apparently it all worked out in the end.
How do you get, all the documents with the address, except that is crazy.
Guess he did not pay attention to the house number or remember which one it was. And yeah, he made it all the way through. So.
Oh my gosh. I cannot even believe that.
Oh my gosh. When you found out that you made that mistake, I would have had a heart attack. I'm sure she did. I'm sure she had a heart attack.
She probably quit.
Oh, she's, years ago, but I still hear her tell that story to people at events, and she shared it on social media, so I hope that's okay for me to share that one on here.
We don't know names. We're good. Yeah,
I'm not telling you even what state she was in.
Okay. So, that's right. We don't know.
Yeah. Well, and on a funny one. So, do you have any others?
I just have things that it's like, just, don't do it while you're buying a house. Your earnest money, you're supposed to be writing earnest money at the beginning, right, of the transaction. Don't get a payday loan for that. Like, it actually needs to be like money, your money.
Yep.
Yeah, because that's a problem.
It is.
That's a problem.
Yeah, I have a list now in my buyer packet with all the things not to do when you're applying for a loan. And it offends some people. I remember we had a client a few years ago that got so upset because all of your emails and my emails with all the warnings of what not to do, it said, don't go buy any new furniture for your house, because we see a lot of people screw things up that way. But she was so mad because they were very well off and buying well below their means. They had plenty of money.
She was pissed at me.
She was pissed. She called me and she's like, we're going to pay cash for this house instead because that Shelley told us we can't buy furniture.
I'm like, don't spend money.
And I was like, I just talk to her. That's the point. I was like, there are some people that if they go spend $1,000 on furniture, they will not qualify anymore because their debt to income ratios are so off, or that's their closing money. So yes, some people, you're in a position where you are fine to go buy a new couch, but talk to the lender first. But she was so mad. They were about to pay cash for the house instead of financing it because they were so mad at you.
Just call me. These are automated emails that are just a reminder. Like, don't do the things. And, this list of yours, I hope it includes, don't go and co-sign for your kids' college leases and be a co-guarantor. How do I say that?
Co-guarantor.
Thank you. Because you know what? It counts against your debt to income ratios. And then surprise, you may not qualify with another housing payment.
Yeah. Oh, yep.
So,
We've been there.
yes,
Yes.
yes. Sometimes we have to navigate some crazy things that happen in the middle of the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah,
But
I'm sorry that I was a factor in the
oh my
because
goodness.
I didn't know that she was trying to qualify for a mortgage at the same time we were finding a rental,
Well,
but
well, that's because you weren't involved in that. It was.
yeah. It oh
I know.
when we
I know.
connected the dots and realized
It was
what we
like,
were doing,
oh my goodness, yes. So all the things.
gotta
So
be careful.
yes, be careful, be
Well,
careful.
so now that we've terrified you about
No, just
all the
don't
things that can go
don't
on.
do anything crazy. Just
Okay.
you know what, talk to your people. Like we're here to help through the
Yeah.
process, right? So if you have a situation and you want to buy some furniture, just call your lender.
Yep. If
Don't get
you
mad. Don't, complain to your agent about it. We are just trying to make sure that everybody is, stays qualified and they buy the house of their
yeah.
dreams.
If there are personal things going on, you can't pay your bills. I mean, it's communicate up front because again, we're here to help, but if we don't know, then that's how it gets all screwed up.
Yeah, because then we
And
find out. We're going to find out.
the storm stuff, I mean, the best thing doing your final walkthrough, I see it sometimes where buyer's agents don't do a walkthrough. You have to do a walkthrough.
Oh my goodness.
Get into that house. This is to make sure that the night before it didn't flood. It didn't catch on fire. It wasn't struck by lightning. There's still a roof on it.
Right,
I
all
mean,
the things.
you never know. And so as close to closing as possible, you want to get in that house and make sure. So
I know.
final walkthrough is so important.
Yeah. So just, work with professionals, communicate with your people. I tell you what, I have met some of like people that are now very good friends of mine that were, clients. That's how close we get.
Yes.
So
It gets actually sad after closing because then
it
we're not talking every
does.
day. So I love when I still get, I mean, I have some people who were texting me pictures of the paint that they just put in their new house. And
Yes.
so
Oh
it's
my
so
gosh.
fun.
I have that too. I have one client that closed, I think it was a couple months ago, but she sends me like, okay, here's the living room now and here's the
Oh,
kitchen. And she's a phenomenal decorator. And I just love that. I
oh,
love that. Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Getting pictures. I had one, it was like, here's what my partner decided to paint the house. And I told him it was a dumb idea and look how bad it looks.
Oh, hilarious. Oh my gosh. I know. We really get involved in
It's so fun.
our clients' lives, and that's the fun part.
We're spending so much time together. So it is nice when we get to keep that relationship going. And it's because it almost feels like a breakup afterwards. We're like, well, we're used to talking every day and now we're not going to talk every day anymore. So
I know. So still reach out to us. We want to hear from you.
yes. All right.
All right. Well, that's all I have for today. Do
Yes.
you have any other great, funny stories or
Nope.
things to avoid?
Nope. And that's it. Next time we do tales, I think we need to do some fun ones. We need
Let's
to talk
do
about
some
like our
fun.
favorites and not the ones that screwed up.
Oh, yes. That would be fantastic. Long list of great
special
clients.
ones.
And yeah, that really touched our hearts. I've had people like just be so sweet. It made me cry.
Oh, yes. Okay, so that's the next one. We will have one in a few weeks where we do more tales, but our favorites.
Yes, let's do that. Perfect.
All right.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining us where we help you make the best of your nest.
Bye.
Bye.